Hello, and welcome to Steam's Sewers. What Valve don't want you to see on Steam. With Steam Direct and other upcoming changes to Steam rapidly approaching, I figured it'd be a great time to talk about some of the worst games on Steam right now. However, there will be some main criteria. 1. The game has to be still for sale on Steam Store and not just via Steam codes. 2. The game has to be bad. I mean, this is obvious, but you can't have good games in a bad games list. And number 3, the game should cost money. You lose nothing but your time playing a bad free-to-play game, and that's not what this series is about. Today we will be talking about STI CLI's game, Airport Master. Or is it Stickler? I don't know. It's a dumb name anyway. First of all, I'd like to talk about copyright abuse on YouTube. Or in this case, trademark abuse. Sending DMCA claims to YouTubers that criticise your work is despicable. Not only is it illegal thanks to fair use laws, but it does nothing but waste both your time and their time. Plus, if you try and do it, like STI CLI games here, Stickly, whatever, you'll end up in a situation of nobody buying your game again. Or if they do buy it, to refund it, like several people did thanks to the EULA of this game, notably saying no refunds. And this is what's happened to Jim Sterling, when he uploaded a video of Airport Master onto his channel over a month ago. In retaliation, several other YouTubers covered the game, including me, I guess now, with one called Sid Alpha going so far as to contact PepsiCo about some trademark violations in the game. Keep in mind, they attacked Jim Sterling for a trademark violation for a trademark they don't even own that was registered in 2007 by an actual company. But let's not get too sidetracked here. Shaky past aside, this series is to talk about the merits of a game and whether it has any chance of improving, as well as to make fun of Valve. Let's answer the easy question first though. Does this game have any chance of becoming a good game? No. The game's concept as a whole is flawed, and without some major overhauls this game has a very small chance of becoming good. This gets everything that Airport Simulator 24/15 does right, which is still a very limited list, and removes them and laughs in your face about it. It then gets what Airport Simulator does wrong and makes them worse, because it hates you. To start, the game's camera ranges from bearable, to oversensitive, to nausea-inducing. Whilst viewing a plane in flight, the camera is actually quite good. It's a decent distance from the plane by default and allows scrolling. This ends the good things about the camera. Whilst the player is viewing the spectator camera of the entire airport, it is very oversensitive, to the point where it can get quite hard to control, as well as being restrictive in some aspects. This can get annoying sometimes, but it's mostly bearable, for lack of a better term. It's certainly not the worst thing in this game. But the first person camera used in the control tower / airport view is horrible. It slides around, making it nauseating to try and walk through the airport itself, and there's no point to even try and doing that anyway, unless you really like the look of low quality 144p textures. Moving on from the camera, another issue this game has is... yes, you guessed it, waiting. Most of the game is waiting around, and when something does happen, it's done by clicking a single button and then waiting for the game to do it for you. I suffered through over an hour and a half with this game, and I only ever saw between 7 and 9 planes, of which I'm pretty sure 2 of them never even left the airport. Everything is horribly slow, with cars taking, in some cases, several minutes to get to the plane to add catering, passengers or fuel, of which they have no animation for, because that would be way too much effort. As well as some planes appearing on your screen claiming they're near the runway for landing, despite being 10 minutes away. I spent more time waiting than I did doing things, something no game should ever have the issue of. Let's get back to the offhand remark I made about controls. Everything is oversimplified, down to even the most complex things in the game. There's no incentive to overprice something low, because people buy it anyway. It's much easier to earn money by just setting everything at maximum. Despite being a management game, you don't really do much. Sure, you set up all the prices for things and set up the planes, but setting up the prices can be ignored or just set to maximum as stated before, and setting up the planes for takeoff and landing is as simple as playing Cookie Clicker. Unlike Cookie Clicker, however, this game is full of bugs, ranging from small issues to game breaking. One of the more minor issues is that the game is full of random noises that make no sense. In the airport view, if you're close enough to the ground, you will hear propeller plane sounds, even if there's no planes nearby. And if you go into the ATC tower, you hear the sound of many people rapidly clicking on a keyboard whenever you go near the computers, despite there not actually being anyone in the ATC tower who could use a keyboard. It's completely empty. However, the biggest issue, from what I can tell, is the flight school mechanic. From what I can guess, the planes are supposed to fly and then come back after a while and land after the flight to earn the player some money by training people. This is not what happens in game, however, and it's probably one of the main causes of this game being so slow. Instead, the planes fly in a single direction forever, and when I say forever, I mean they got so far away from the skybox that it was no longer being rendered, so I couldn't tell if they were still moving. At no point did the developers look at this and go, hey, this isn't right. That's if they even looked at this at all, which I doubt. I should also take this time to note that, according to Steam user Chris73, this issue has been fixed, but I don't have an up-to-date copy of the game to be able to compare it to, so I'm still keeping it in. And now, let's talk about the graphics. Get any image of decent quality, use paint to resize it to be tiny, then upscale it again to make it blurry. Congratulations, you've just made an accurate representation of every graphic in the game. Except the chicken/turkey on the side of the catering truck, because that seems to be oddly high resolution, I don't know why. I'm pretty sure that's the highest resolution in the game, to be honest. There are a few different images in the game that have been reused, such as the texture for the skid marks on the runway is the same texture used under all the planes as parking spots. And this creates the issue of one of the textures looking kind of blurry, but a decent texture. Well, for this game anyway. And the other one being a horrible black mark left over a runway. And I'm saying horrible black mark because it doesn't look like skid marks that a plane would leave. It looks like someone's got some black ink and just painted the runway with it. Oh, and I forgot one tiny detail. They don't own some of the textures in their game. They've been attacking other critics for trademark, yet they have trademarked images that they don't own in their game. And then, despite stealing the image of the vending machine from somewhere else, it wasn't theirs obviously, it still wasn't a very good texture. It's horrible, it was low resolution, you could barely make anything out. I think they assumed that because it was so low resolution, that no one would be able to read it and then send it to PepsiCo. Yeah, they were wrong there, weren't they? And even then, I'd be able to look over some of the graphics issues in the game, such as reused textures and low resolution, if the game was any fun. I'm not though, because the game's not fun. However, despite STICLI Games having given up attacking any critics of the game, the developers do appear to actually be trying to improve the game. An update on April 25th claims to have added several features and fixed many glitches. Update changelog will be in the description. I still don't think the game has any chance of becoming a truly good game, but it'd be interesting to see where this goes, and if I'm proven wrong. It'd be nice if I was proven wrong, but I highly doubt it at this point, which is a shame. Due to all of these issues mentioned above, for the time being, Airport Master gets the #1 spot on Steam Sewers, and also the only spot for now, until we play a next game next week. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Steam Sewers.